I wanted to start by asking you if the IDF has taken full control of Israeli territory and that border fence has been patched up and you are certain that there are no more Hamas militants on your territory.
We have secured southern Israel. We have secured the border. Our forces are maintaining and securing that border. Our forces are still going house by house. I'm sure your viewers are aware this war started with an absolutely massive and huge massacre by hundreds of Hamas terrorists streaming across the border. So our forces are still going house by house to make sure that none of them are left. And at the same time, we are now in a massive war with Hamas. It started with this massive massacre, and now we are responding decisively against Hamas's military capabilities in Gaza to make sure that this will never happen again and that they do not have any capability to carry on and continue conducting attacks on our civilians.
And a part of that response includes calling up reservists, some 300,000, about 100,000 of them are near Gaza. This appears to be an indication to the rest of the world, not just that it's a signal to Hamas that potentially the IDF is planning a ground assault. What more can you tell us about that?
You're right. This is a massive call-up. Hundreds of thousands of reserve duty officers and soldiers have left their homes, left their families, and have been called up to the army. And we have no choice. I mean, look at how this started, to think of the resources, the planning, the training, the support that they have from their regional partners to carry something out. And at the same time, sending thousands of rockets into Israel, indiscriminately fired towards our civilian population centers. We have no choice but to undertake this massive operation to completely degrade their military capabilities and make sure that they cannot do this again. And at the same time, we have also called up reserve duty soldiers to maintain our other borders. We have serious threats emanating from the north, which has already turned into a few attacks here and there. And we need to make sure that we're protecting our communities in the north as well.
You are after Hamas. The United Nations says that they have reports that Israeli airstrikes into Gaza are hitting health facilities, that have hit 2 schools. How do you respond to that? Because as you say, Hamas indiscriminately has attacked civilians in your country.
I have no information on specific incidents at the moment. We are in the midst of this massive operation, which is involving hundreds of airstrikes. We're attacking hundreds of Hamas military targets every few hours. And I think it just demonstrates how difficult this operation it is. I mean, the world has now seen the true face of Hamas, that they use the civilian population to wage their war. Hamas's war is a war on civilians. They massacre our civilians, and they use their civilians, their civilian population, their civilian surroundings to hide their military targets and their military operations to try and avoid attack from us. So it does look like there's civilian harm in Gaza, and there is civilian harm in Gaza. That is not our intent. Our war is not against civilians inside Gaza. Our war is against Hamas, but they deliberately conceal themselves and conceal their military operations inside the civilian environment, deliberately to draw in those attacks.
But then you accept that you are going to be hitting civilians given the densely populated nature of Gaza. And I also want to ask about the concern you have for your own citizens. Again, Hamas saying that they are keeping them, holding them, women and children, Israeli women and children, in various parts of Gaza as well. So they may potentially pay the ultimate price.
Well, the whole purpose of our war, of our operation, is to protect civilians. Last week, we were not attacking in Gaza. This started with Hamas's invasion and massacre of women, children, entire families, elderly, and as you mentioned, taking dozens of them hostage back into Gaza. And we are, and at the same time, firing thousands of rockets on our civilian population. So our sole purpose, our sole aim is to defend our civilian population, to make sure that our people are safe and sound.
But how will you ensure that Israeli civilians who you are concerned about are not harmed in these airstrikes?
So those are operational issues with obviously very sensitive operational considerations for how we do that. And I cannot talk about that publicly. Our government gives us directives, and the IDF will carry that out accordingly.
But you are saying that there are factors being taken into consideration to avoid harming your hostages. How can you do that if you don't know, Hamas's hostages, Israeli citizens? How can you do that when you don't know where they are?
It is very complex. All of the fighting in Gaza is complex. You know, our aim is to try and minimize and mitigate harm against the local civilian population in Gaza. But these are all operational considerations that naturally I cannot talk about publicly.
I do want to ask you what happened on Saturday. Shocking, stunning terror is what is being called by several leaders in world capitals. How did this happen? The IDF is considered one of the utmost prime military forces on the planet. Your intelligence services are at the forefront as well. But Hamas, a militant organization deemed a terrorist group by the EU, by the US, by Canada, was able to breach that border fence, send thousands of their militants into your country and grab civilians.
Yes, those are questions that we will definitely have to answer. Our focus on the moment is fighting this war and keeping our civilian population safe. But those are questions we'll have to answer. But I think it just goes to show what we've been saying for years and what we've been fighting against for years. We have a murderous terrorist organization whose explicit and stated aim is to kill as many Israelis as possible living across our border. They are our neighbors. They are in our backyard. There is no question about it that we have to take drastic action to protect our civilians and make sure that this kind of thing never happens again.
Before I let you go, I do want to ask you, what is the objective of the IDF at this stage? Certainly in the first few days, it was about securing Israeli territory. You say that you have now done that. What is the next phase?
Our directives are given to us by our government, and our highest priority at the moment is keeping our civilians safe and stopping these attacks. Just before I spoke to you now, we had 2 air raid sirens in Tel Aviv. I don't know where my children are. They're in a bomb shelter somewhere in our home in Tel Aviv. I'm here in our base, and we have to stop these ongoing, incessant, indiscriminate attacks on our civilian population, and that's our highest priority.